Hello. Happy Wednesday. I'm like, what day is it today? Happy Wednesday. This is probably going to be short and it's probably going to be just me. So if you're watching on replay, drop a dolphin below. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Arena. I don't know how to make that so it doesn't sound like I'm Marina. And I know this time usually there's a lot of people going live and so forth and so on. So um, I wanted to do it earlier, but it was difficult to catch everything up on my morning and do it earlier. But yesterday, there's quite a few documents, court documents that I want to go over live. I've heard about one, which was the subpoena to Van Zan, and that's it. So I pulled up court listener, and we're going to go through them as we're going to go through them. Also, woke up to Mayor or past mayor. I don't know. Was he currently the mayor? I don't know. Andrew Cuomo conceding to Zohran Mamamdi? Mamamdi? Why does that not sound right when I say it? Anyways, and that's going to be, I feel like, historical. And who is he? I had to find out. I had no idea. Bernie endorses him, so I'm thinking that we're going to have more and more Bernie leaning type of politicians in the coming years. One, because new generations. Two, because this is not going so well right now, the direction we've been going on. So, anyways, but back to Blake Lively or Justin Baldoni or Wayfair. But we'll cover a little bit of that later as well, the news stuff. All right, so let me pull. I think I'm in delay a little bit from what I see, or it just might be me. Let me pull up my screen. All right, so yeah, stop that. So we had this was, I think, one that I had seen yesterday, and I thought, okay, pursuant to Rule 4B of Attachment A to your Honor's individual rules, we write on behalf of Blake Lively regarding our letter motion to seal Exhibit A, and the request is granted. So, okay. But then a few others came in. This is Brett Douglas McDowell's motion for reconsideration of order denying intervention. Sorry. I'm recovering from sinus stuff. This is long. I'm not going to read it all. I think I did read this. Did I? Or start or something? I'll say that the Vituska thing got interesting. Without a crystal ball posted this more, I don't know, lately on Instagram, and she posted how, I think I said this already, but then I kind of maybe went off that route on Monday or whatever. I just kind of got lost in it. And then she was doubling down. She was saying that, it's interesting. Like, apparently they're trying to take the affidavit down or strike it. And that was my initial thought, and I don't know if I said it out loud or I said it when I first read that. I don't remember, but my first thought was like, so he said this affidavit, then he's changing lawyers. Mm, okay, so I don't know. Can that work? Can that happen? Because an affidavit, I mean, if you say something under perjury, hi P, if you say something that, hey, I did not say this, or someone did not say this to me, or whatever, and I declare this is true, you can't just undo that. You can't just like, I wonder if people kind of know what they're doing. I don't know. I don't know what this all means, but my understanding is that if you're doing an affidavit, then uh like that's like, if you're lying on that affidavit, it's perjurous. I don't know if that's a word. From what I recall, people kept bringing up why Brian Freeman hadn't used it. The affidavit, or I don't remember that part, but yeah, or you mean the subpoena? You might have started from the beginning. Um, but yeah, the subpoena, the Van Zandt subpoena, that's like finally being questioned. Um, you know what? In all of this, all that's happening this week, which is all kind of like throwing everyone, I feel, for a loop, or throwing people off. Like, what is happening? What's going on? Um, I think it's the long game of the lawsuits, of lawsuits in general, that we might not see. Maybe you guys see more because this is my first time following a lawsuit. Um, but I feel like just how I hear all of us talking about things like, "Ooh, that's a win, that's a loss," all this stuff. Um, and then there's so much, and like with the subpoena to Van Zandt, or like the Van Zandt being questioned. Um, it's like, why is that not happening? The Taylor Swift text messages, well, that was a little quicker turnaround. The but the affidavit that Brian Freeman did around the communication between Blake's lawyers and Taylor, or her camp, etc. Um, so there's a lot of like, why are they not pursuing this? Why are they not filing for this? Why are they not questioning this, etc., etc.? But I think realistically it might be a lot. They're like probably doing their due diligence to have a great case. If it's not something extremely urgent, like I feel that affidavit was, it could have been like, you know, social court of social opinion or whatever. Um, but I think it also could have been I'm like so distracted right now. Oh my gosh. This is why, like, at the end of the day, at night, and like everything's like done. Nothing's in my mind. I don't know. Um, what was I saying? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hello, day vlog, or vlogging, day streaming. Um, oh yeah. So, I wonder if they're like, they have certain things that they're like, this is urgent to get out there, to get out to the public, to get out to the judge, to get out, quickly. And there's other things that are brewing, because there's so many things. I mean, not I'm sure. We saw in the counter lawsuit, counter complaint, whatever it was, that Wayfair did towards Blake, that the timeline was with, etc. Like, we saw how many pieces there could be. And even in Blake's complaint and lawsuit, there's so many different like points, like this happened and this happened and this happened, and all those have backups of proof one way or another. And so I think, yeah, like the Van Zandt subpoena or the Van Zandt situation, I think they were like digging into it. They probably didn't know about it until maybe we knew about it, or maybe they started discovery, and they're like, what is this, or whatever. And so that was a whole different thing. So yeah, I mean, they literally are just asking the judge for the information, but still. And they have so many. It's like, I also think of how politics and the world is right now, and how many different things we have to focus on, and how sometimes it can be so overwhelming and so difficult. I mean, they have a whole team of lawyers and so forth, but like, it's so difficult. Like, catch that mole, catch, or whack that mole, whack that one, whack that one. Like, did you get that mole? No, did you get the other one? Like, it's a lot, I feel, with this lawsuit. So but it's exciting that things are like moving a little bit more. It's also interesting of the timing, though, that they chose not to file the amended complaint, which based on the two remaining allegations or whatever that their complaint slash lawsuit had, because I'm still confused as to what a complaint is and lawsuit is, and I think they're, I don't know, whatever. Um, I feel like that was a good choice not to focus on those, because those were, in my opinion, really weak. And my little gut was saying this is really hard to prove, because do we know that she signed the contract? Even though she performed the contract, she performed the duties of the contract and vice versa. I feel like it might have a lot more work than needed. Whereas if they can focus on the things that are a lot more powerful, then that's a whole better fight than those little things. Um, and I don't know, but that's just my opinion. I don't really know that much, but that's just like my inkling was like, yeah, that was a good idea. So when everyone's like, I think yesterday I was on Leanne and Anita and CJ. They had a live, and I was on there, and or was it on Lawrence? I don't know. There was so many going on yesterday, or Omar's. Um, but I think Cassidy was saying that she wants to hug everyone because of this, revelation that they're not filing the Second Amendment complaint and so forth. And I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that energy myself. I didn't feel it maybe to everyone else. I saw this morning that Lauren and Omar had a live, and I was going to attend it, but I actually went to bed. But they had Donna and Zach, which I cannot even watch the recap of that. I don't know why I'm like so incredibly, incredibly triggered by Donna and Zach, I guess. Zach, actually, I never got around to him just from the get go. I just didn't really vibe with his vibe. Um, but Donna either, but like she was like a good source of information or whatever. And um, but yeah, I don't know. Even just talking about it, I just like curl up in like defense mode, like become a turtle. So yeah, but they were talking. I saw Lawrence and Omar's live after, or the starting. I'll watch it eventually. It's just like I need to ease into the trigger. But she mentioned that they were doing a live earlier with them, and that they were more venting. Not Omar, but the rest of them were more venting about it. And Elsie was on there too. And I feel like I don't get that much, because I just don't get that much. Now, I was watching before coming on, I was watching that Not Actually Golden, who said that she feels like it's right, or rightfully, you know, the criticism against Brian Freeman for having said, come on, TMZ, come on, Megan and Kelly, or wherever he was coming on, saying that they'll file a second amendment complaint, etc. And then now he has to backtrack, and he looks like a liar or whatever. I don't think he looks like a liar. He just looks like he didn't, he fell through, he changed his mind. A liar would be like, we filed it and then it's not there. But anyways, and she was saying that rightfully deserved the criticism of Brian Freeman, and I feel like, yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would go so hard on that, but yeah, that's interesting. But I also feel like it's interesting. And what else is behind the scenes? What else is going on? Um, what is brewing? Because yeah, stuff is brewing, I imagine. I just don't feel like it's the end. I don't feel like, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, so this Brett McDowell, this is the nice bull guy, right? Yeah. All right. I will get back to that. I don't know. That feels like a lot. Um. Wait, I talked about this. What day are we? 25. Okay, never mind. I did talk about this too. Here we go. So I think this was where the last thing that I saw. This is just a notice of appearance. I don't even know who this person is. There's so many people. These are like non-parties, so witnesses or somethings, um, which might be explosive later. Maybe, I just don't have that information right now. On behalf of Blake Lively, we write pursuant to Rule 4B of Attachment A to your Honor's individual rules to respectfully request that the court continue to seal Exhibit C to the Wayfair party's letter to opposition to Miss Lively's motion for a protective order. Um, Wait, is that okay? Exhibit C is Miss Lively's amended initial disclosures, which Miss Lively designated as to protect the sensitive confidential information of third parties, many of whom may never be witnesses at trial. Miss Lively requests that Exhibit C remain under seal in its entirety. I feel conflicted about that because, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I feel conflicted about it. Courts in the circuit routinely seal documents to protect third parties' sensitive confidential information. Like it feels almost like witness protection, and like this is not a criminal trial, So that's why I'm like, is this a little too much? If you're going to attack someone or like stand by someone else attacking someone or defending someone, on both sides, Wayfair and Lively, like I mean, I guess it makes sense if they're not going to be up to the trial. If they drop out before then yeah, why would their information, why should they be in there? But for discovery, like I feel like it could at least be attorney's eyes only. What happened to all those attorney's eyes onlys? I mean, we won't see those, right? I think even if they're filed, we don't even see them. I wish they would be like attorney's eyes only, and this is like the filing. They don't even need to put like a little thing, but just to know, like, document. That's it. But it's there. Something is there. But just like my data analytics brain is like missing pieces, and it's annoying. But yeah, so I feel like for discovery purposes, I hope the lawyers at least know these parties. So maybe it's just sealed from court, docket, public, etc. Um, so I don't have that. I don't have the subpoena. Well, anyways, so a subpoena was issued to Van Zandt, and um, I might have to like start doing the whole piecer and all this stuff too. Darn it. I don't know. Wow. Well, this is probably gonna be super short. Um, the video initially was just about. I was hoping there was some more court documents or something that was like tangible to talk about, and to react to and so forth. Because yeah, um, I might just have to like wait until Friday to get everything in. But um, hold on, sorry. Sorry, I'm sorry. But yeah, so the second amended complaint not being opened, or filed or whatever. Um, I was hearing. Let me pull up my notes. I was hearing a lot of lawyers saying that, and this one guy that for some reason he didn't have a name tag on Popcorn Planet's video. The glasses one, the other one had a name tag, but he didn't say anything that I thought was like super memorable to me. excuse me, but that glasses guy, Omar, they both said that they might be leaving it open for an appeal rather than file these two leftover allegations. They might leave it open so they can appeal the whole thing. Um, it I think Anita was saying this. I don't remember exactly who it originated with, but it is extreme. I think it's extremely interesting that there's no gloating on Blake's side. Because I don't think this is like, well, we already gloated. We don't need to gloat again. She's not really, um, she's not been that way. I don't know. So either she's like super stressed about the deposition that I'm guess like I hear didn't happen. I don't know. Or is about to happen, is delayed. I don't know where that is, but depositions are happening. Not actually Golden was saying July, but either way, like she could be stressed about that and preparations for that. So she's not really thinking about anything else. Um, Maybe this Van Zandt subpoena reached them before it reached, Lauren really was the only place that I saw that. Um, and she could be in that sense, but I mean, it's not that she has to make a post, it's like her team and stuff. So it is very interesting that they're not gloating, they're not declaring victory, they're not pointing like, look, Brian should be ashamed because he lied, he misleaded, he did a public statement for that didn't go anywhere, etc. So I feel like they're feeling some sort of pressure from like Wayfarer's side about something. Um which is like hopeful. Um wow. I don't know. But the leaving the complaint, sorry, to be appealed, that I think is a great theory. I think it's smart if that's the only way that they could appeal that later on. I think that's the way they should do it. I will keep saying, unless I'm not understanding something, the last two claims that were there to be amended were nothing really. Were like tiny potatoes. And so I think it's like let's like deal with other potatoes, or like let's keep the big potatoes to the side. They've been dismissed. We might appeal them. Let's just like focus on winning, or focus on, you know, these other potatoes that might bring these other potatoes back. I don't know why I'm talking of potatoes and that doesn't make much sense. But yeah, so yeah, but the no gloating on Blake's side, no statements really from either side. The statement from Brian Friedman's side was like interesting. Anita pointed out that on Popcorn Planets it was a Word document, and that could have been um just him, because I've seen him work before in Word document, which just boggles my mind. Like, get workflowy, it's really much nicer and much simpler. But yeah, because you can like search, and I don't know. But yeah, so he works in the Word document, so he could have pulled that off into the Word document to read it from like an email, a source, what do you call it? An article, whatever. So I don't know, but that was kind of weird. That stood out to me too as a layperson. Like, this does not look official. But I've seen it in People. I've seen it in other articles. And I had that, I think, opened yesterday, and then I didn't. Or maybe I no, I have. Yeah, I think it was a People. I mean, everyone's been reading this. Um, but yeah, why not us too? What is this? Is this different? Probably not. Probably it's the same thing. You know what I'm really tired of? YouTubers that have, not them particularly, but this like approach of titling and thumbnailing things so mysteriously that if you don't know if to click on it or not, like, is this redundant information or not, or what is this about? Is this new information? Because if it's redundant information, I'll still watch it, but like give me that expectation. But if it sounds like it's a completely new information than what I've been watching all day, then I feel like clicking out of it because I'm like, no, like, you just misleaded me. So I feel like that with articles too. But anyways, usually they don't do that. Usually articles, like they'll all have pretty much the same sort of wording, for better or worse. So will not be moving forward with amending his complaint. Of course, adds. After Judge Lyman shockingly threw out Baldoni's countersuit earlier this month, I stand with Omar that, I mean, he knows much more than I do. But yeah, I think it makes sense the way that he says it, that it is strange that it was so quickly dismissed before discovery and with prejudice. Who was talking about? Oh, not actually Golden attended the hearing and doubled down on how this judge seems fair, seems really not eligible, and seems not altered by the stocks he has. She did not mention like the connection with the brother and all that stuff. Um I stand by like in the middle. I'm 50-50. I don't know. I'm 50-50 at this point. So, I don't know. Could be, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But anyways, that was, I feel I wouldn't have made that decision because I like knowing much more and like knowing facts. I like knowing all this stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And he wrote so much of why he was throwing it out, but like it's really hard not to see that being a very premature decision. I don't know. Anyways, the court's decision on the motion, or like not very maybe that's why he's like now very understanding of the case, because maybe he was just acting like a regular judge, not really getting the difference of like celebrity. I don't know, whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying. The court's decision on the motion. So, Brian Friedman told Page Six earlier this month that they are now focusing on Baldoni's defense. The court's decision on the motion to dismiss has no effect whatsoever on the truth. So this was a regurgitated statement that is now populating everyone's articles and everything. But yeah, this says it's Tuesday. I don't know. The court's decision on the motion to dismiss has no effect whatsoever on the truth that there was no harassment nor any smear campaign, and it does not in any way affect our vigorous defense against Ms. Lively's claims. Which it surprised me to hear not actually Golden saying that this is true or this is false, um, because that's the point. Even the judge said that. Like, this is not because these are like not truthful, or like the truth has not been determined. It's just that these would be hard to have as claims. So yeah, that was like kind of strange for to hear her say that. Discovery is proceeding and we are confident that we will prevail against these factually baseless accusations. Nyman claimed in his ruling to dismiss the defamation suit that Baldoni and his legal team have not alleged that Lively is responsible for any statements other than the statements in her CRD complaint, which are privileged. As part of the judge's decision, and that's like where Without a Crystal Ball was saying like, well, let's wait for it because this Vituska thing might come back and bite them regarding that. Um, as a part of the judge's decision, was given until June 23rd to amend his claims for breach of implied covenant, suggesting that terms agreed upon in their legal agreement were violated, and tortious interference with contract, intentionally disrupting the relationship or contractual agreement between parties potentially leading to significant financial damages and reputational harm. However, instead of revisiting the existing claims, Friedman told us that they will be pursuing additional legal options that are available to us. So subpoenas and things, I'm guessing, because it started with the subpoena for Van Zandt. So they might be just getting more aggressive. That's interesting. Trending now. They might be deciding to do a lot more of an aggressive defense and go aggressively into a defensive attack. Like, let's go after the subpoena. Let's go after this. Let's go after that. Let's, close the loophole on the Taylor Swift thing, on this Vituska thing, on things that we might not even know at this point. That can still be done through her, through like a defense to her claims. So yeah, I don't know that it's like a huge thing. It is kind of hard to I'll be back on the screen share, but it is kind of hard to go back on, you say something and then you go back on it. I just personally don't see it as a big deal in this particular case. I might be missing something. I might be missing something. I don't know. What am I missing? Because I just don't see it as a big deal. Again, because those two claims that were left to me felt like this is going to be so hard to prove, so hard to win. Not maybe prove, but win. Well, both. It's going to, and it's like not the big stuff. It's not defamation. It's not like the things that hurt him financially and career wise, not just like money wise, but like career as like getting jobs. And this is, we're talking about people that do this for out of passion for what they're doing. This is not just like you're just working as an accountant down, the street. This is like, and some people are passionate about accounting and they would feel the same way, but this is not like just a whatever job. This is like something that is like, it hurts their soul too. So, um, yeah, I think that these were just not probably worth spending that much time, effort, and money on. There was also another comment regarding the what is it, 47.1 or something. I didn't write it down. I think it was on Omar's live earlier yesterday, because I think he broke the news, so we're all on there. Or started breaking the news to us, because it wasn't really like filed or anything. It was just like, well, this is not happening, guys. But it was around okay, my brain just died. I don't remember. This is a crappy live. I know I said this about Monday, and I recovered on Monday from it. By the end of it, this is going to be pretty crappy throughout. So it's just weird being in the middle of the day. We just don't have so many things. I don't have so many things. I don't have any insider information. I don't even have Pacer, because it's one, it's I hear it's expensive from Lauren, so I haven't contributed yet, but I'll contribute some to her. And then although like I am so curious myself, it's anyways, but um I I feel really weird signing up for that, putting my name out there like that. I don't know. I get sometimes quite paranoid as far as like what I put out there, what I sign up for, how I put myself out there. So yeah. Anyways, that's kind of it. I did notice, what was it on, I think it was yesterday on, no, I thought it was a court listener thing. I think it was yesterday or this morning on just a general search for Blake Lively or something that, yeah, Taylor Swift is. No, it was this morning on Instagram. Taylor Swift was in Nashville. Um, that's, I think, interesting. You know, well, you probably don't know if you're not a Taylor Swift fan. This was not a great song. It was a great idea, but song wise, melody wise, all that stuff, I didn't like it at all. But that Golden String or whatever song that she did that was for Joe Alwyn and her, of how like synchronicity and how like our lives, our choices, etc., were like parallel, and then we found each other. Um, Talk about that, where Travis went to Nashville University or whatever. Nashville is, I don't know, university in Nashville, and she was in Nashville for so long. That's where she started her career. So, yeah, they went over there. I guess she's like performing, or she performed. Not really on topic with Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, but I think a lot about what Ashley Brienne Eve, which I will watch as soon as I'm done, because she's, and I was like, should I like move mine back more? But I didn't have anything strong enough to be like, oh yeah, I'll just like move mine because it's worth seeing. Like, no, people will watch hers. I don't know that we have many overlapping people yet. Maybe I don't remember. I just started watching her lives, so just let her take center stage, and then like if this is like, you know, leftovers. But yeah, I think of her a lot when I think about like Taylor Swift and the SEO. I don't know, not war, SEO strategies and stuff, because yeah, she's going to hospitals. She's going to like Nashville with her boyfriend and singing. Um, he, I guess, made this concert happen. All right, cool. Oh gosh, darn the header. Wowed the crowd. Shake It Off is not the song that I would put wow to the crowd with. That's like a fun song. It's an awesome song. It's a very good song for to exist out there, but like it's not a wow song. Like it doesn't like move you like wow. Anyways, but who knows, maybe she did like a crazy different impression of it or whatever. Play. I mean, it sounds the same. All right. So yeah, blah 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 blah. But she's trying to just do her life and get away from this stuff, which seems like it's not over. So yeah, I'm going to switch to news. Um, and yeah, sorry, this was disappointing. I might even take this down afterwards. It's like, what did I even say? Um, it could have been said in a just direct short video or like TikTok or whatever. I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, sometimes these things work, sometimes they didn't. All right, so news. This is not really related to anything, but I saw this when I went to Ground News and on the main page, and I was like, okay, I guess worth mentioning, because are they preparing for something? It seems like it. NATO allies, so many A, NATO allies agree to higher 5% defense spending target over the next decade. This decision follows years of pressure from President Donald Trump, who demanded that members pay a fair share for collective defense. The agreement outlines 3.5% of GDP of core defense like troops and weapons, and 1.5 for broader security investments, including infrastructure. Trump shared a private message from NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, in which whatever, praised Trump for accomplishing a feat that no US president had managed in many years. What? While most allies support the spending increase, Spain rejected the 5% target, pledging only 2.1, and Trump expressed frustration, calling Spain's stance unfair. Which, in a way, I feel like Spain is like, I'm far away from everyone. I don't know. Do I really need to put as much? Because I don't have that much on the line, which is not fair. But yeah. I don't know how much the Irish Examiner, El Universo, El Fatto Quotidiano. I don't know how much. I don't know who's going to tell us better. How much each put in. So I don't. Is it like wait? Hmm? Let's read Trump in Spanish because I think that's ironic. Es un gran victoria, I almost went Italian there. Es una gran victoria para todos. Creo que en breve estaremos todos más igualados y es así como debe ser. Actually, that sounds really nice. It sounds like really normal. Okay, but yeah, I'm curious like who spends what. I will say that like US I feel like is a huge country so it should spend more. It's bigger than Europe itself. But like yeah, like I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, cool. I don't know. There you go. Piece of news. Second one. I talked about this on Monday, I think. Cambodians at quiet Thai border plead for peace. That there's like tension between Thailand and Cambodia. Cambodians living near the Poipet border crossing are worried about conflict escalations between Thailand and Cambodia. Tuk tuk driver San Noan now works overnight to make ends meet due to the border disputes. Residents express a desire for peace, stating, "Please don't use weapons. I don't want to see a war anymore." Amen. Yeah, that's many of us around the world. Despite the ongoing border dispute, some Cambodians are confident they can endure the current difficulties. So that's just a little tiny update on that. And now with Iran and Israel, and I think I was seeing this on Instagram again, just how like many countries Israel is in conflict with and conflicting with, like they're kind of starting all these conflicts. The Iran thing, I think, is it's so 50-50. People are so 50-50 on this one, which if on both sides people will say that's crazy. You shouldn't be 50-50 on it, but what I keep hearing about why the reasoning for everyone being on, for, Iran, for Israel, and for Iran defending itself, for Israel and defending itself, or attacking, or whatever. It sounds very 50-50. I don't know that I have a very strong opinion, except for I don't think that bullying someone out of bullying is the thing. um, just like actually Pope Leo said, or as people have started calling him, Pope L, that, you know, war does not create peace. I forget exactly his words. But yeah, bombing someone does not create peace, um, does not make them stop, all that stuff. So, anyways, Trump announced a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, which I heard like he announced it without telling them about it. But, anyways, after the deal was initially faltered, China can continue buying oil from Iran as the U.S. eases its maximum pressure campaign on Iran. Israel, and also props to Trump for saying Iran. Props to him, because I remember, um, was it? I think it was him or Bush. I don't know. They would mispronounce countries. Israel confirmed accepting the ceasefire proposal and reopened airspace, while Iran said a ceasefire was imposed after its missile attacks. I mean, potato, Iran. What's the difference? Um, so what language is this? Let's see. Netherlands cannot speak Dutch at all. Um, Ceasefire agreed upon, because there's this other one. Is it this one? Yeah. Iranian official tells CNN Tehran never received ceasefire proposal. A senior Iranian official told CNN that Tehran, I don't know, I'm mispronouncing that in many ways, never received any formal proposal from the United States. Iran denies reaching a ceasefire agreement with Israel, but claims military operations stopped at a 4 a.m. deadline if Israel ceased attacks. Foreign Minister Sayed Abbas Araki said, as of now, there is no agreement on any ceasefire or cessation of military operations. Conflicting narratives exist about the ceasefire, prompting concerns regarding its implementation and durability. I would think so. Mixed factuality, high factuality. Lean left, lean right. Oh, let's go with this one for now. No, let's not go with that one. I think that's Turkish. Cannot read that one. All right. Nope. I want the. Huh. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well. Anyways, yeah. I don't know. It seems like. I don't know. Yeah. And then LeBron is back with the Cavs. Is drafted number 1 overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers, June 26th. Today's June 25. But okay. Um Today in sports, June 26th. Like they got really what's the word? They're really high achievers. They're really, saying the news before it happened. For the second consecutive year, blah blah blah. Okay, this is like a history of what? History of World Cup soccer match since Cuba beat Romania in 1938. That sounds painful. Cuba beating us? Ooh, Romania. I also am so disappointed in Romanian soccer people, soccer players, because I just feel like they're not doing that. They have a great legacy. What are they doing with it? Nothing. Nothing. They're not living up to it. Shape up. Shape up. Anyways. Because Argentina has one and they've kept up with their legacy. Brazil kept up with theirs. France, more or less. Romania, what are you doing? Gymnastics, and although there was like that one controversy, wasn't it, with the Romanian like third bronze medalist, but maybe not. I don't know, at the Olympics. But yeah, what are you doing with soccer and gymnastics? We had this. We had a legacy in there. Anyways, apparently not in 1938 though. So what is this even? So maybe not, because this is like the worst article ever. It's dated tomorrow. Um, it's from the Associated Press, but it's saying nothing, and it's talking about it's a timeline. What is this? This is I do not own this mistake, except I didn't click on it beforehand. Um there it says that it has two, but I only see one. Um yeah, so I do not own their mistake. I own mine for not checking the source prior to this live. But let's see if that's like news anywhere. Maybe tomorrow we'll like wake up and it's like, oh, that was true. Um. Oh, this one says here's something more. LeBron James Lakers championship teammate eyed for coaching staff for the Cavs. All right. So maybe that's what they were trying to say. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. And then this is I feel like the biggest news piece of today is that Andrew Cuomo concedes New York City Democratic mayoral primary to Zohran Mamdani. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying earlier. That sounds more like what I heard. Excuse me. He's a 33 years old Democratic socialist. Defeated former governor Andrew Cuomo in New York City's. This came from like they were kind of okay. I'll just read. Sorry, before recapping. The race followed Cuomo's 2021 resignation amid an SH scandal and centered on issues like housing affordability and rising anti-Semitism in the city. Mamdani, who also recently said that under no circumstance Iran should have nuclear power, nuclear weapons, but it also should be so like one, and then two, it also should be looked into like why the constitutionalism of like this decision to bomb them or whatever. And based on what that, I forget the guy's name on Instagram that we were watching on Monday. He was I stand with that mindset more or better of it's not whether or not it's constitutional. I mean, yes, but it sounds like something being constitutional is not necessarily it. And so like, is it legal? Is it moral? Is it good? Is it for safety and peace? Um, and a good decision. I don't know. But anyways, and again, I just like I'm like why. And also there was someone, and I post, and I haven't read her my friend's message because I messaged because I saw this post and I was going to look into it, and then I saw it on my friend's story, and I was going to look into it, and I don't know. But this guy was saying that, it's funny that the US is like, oh, Iran doesn't need the dictator, but like they put the dictatorship, or they made that happen or whatever. They like the US in the 30s, I think, or something he was saying. Um oh my gosh, this is so sad. But yeah, in the 30s or something, they said they took down Iran's democratic government. So yeah, if that's the case, like, I mean, I hate to say this, but like, are you doing a Brian Friedman now, where you said you did one thing, but then you're doing another thing? Um, but that's really mean. But fair. I don't know. I believe in fairness. I just saw this as I pulled up my my Instagram to look at my friend's post, or yeah, and yeah, that there will be flying cars in the future. Then 2025, the world is burning. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, so this guy, let me go back to that. Uh, oh, sorry. Let me. So, um, Okay, so she didn't reply specifically to that. But yeah, I'll do my research on that because that's like definitely like that should that we should know about that. Okay, so Mam Dahani, yeah. Campaign on promises including rent freezes, free public buses, universal childcare, city-run grocery stores, and proposed a community safety department to combat hate crimes, including anti Semitism. By the end of Tuesday, Mamdani held 43.5% of the first round votes, with Cuomo at 36.4, and Mamdani declared, "Tonight we made history," while Cuomo conceded but left open a possible independent run. Mamdani, why is Cuomo so. I don't know. I feel like he was cool during the 2020s. Um, you know what I whether he's cool or not as a person and whether he does good things or not, the thing that gets to me about him is that, no offense, or take offense, feel free to be offended by this, but he's old. He's not that old, but he's old. He's not 33. And the way that the world is going, let me pull that. Where do I still have that? No. That that cat thing. Like the way that, this world is going right now, with this happening, I don't want more of the same people that were elected before, whether or not they were good, besides Bernie, but he was not elected to anything but like Senate. So I think, right? So um like, get Bernie. He's the only old guy that I trust and that I feel like is aligned with, I don't know, humanity. Um I do like Kamala, but I also don't know that much about her, so I don't know. Um AOC is like definitely like hit and miss. There's like different things around her, some good, some bad. But overall I feel like she's young and she's um loud. Bernie is loud. We need loud people that stand up for people and for humanity. That's what I'm about. So I don't feel like Andrew Cuomo is that. I think he's like more like old school, classic, which is weird to say because he was definitely like hip-ish in 2020. But yeah, I don't know. He comes across like been there, done that. Yeah, like the SH stuff, like I don't know. To me, that always with like starting with Clinton, to me that was it's interesting. How old was I back then? I don't know, somewhere between 10 and like 15 years old or something. And I remember thinking like this is a diversion. This isn't a tactic. This is not it shouldn't be this way. This doesn't make sense that he's being impeached and he's supposedly not able to run. But I mean, Trump is impeached and he's, president, but he's supposedly not, a good president because he lied about like an affair with someone. And I'm sorry, I don't think it crosses through to policy and through to, I don't know, but that's just me. That's just me. Like, and this too, like, is that bad? Yes. You know, lying about it, doing it, the SH stuff, like if Andrew like did this or whatever, like yes. Yes. And I can also see SH, not SA, but SH around Andrew based on how he talks and stuff. Like I can see how that happens. I can see him being again like old school and not really realizing that he shouldn't say certain things or in today's world. Um but yeah, so yeah, I don't know, but that's just like really my opinion and I'll stand by that. I feel like to the end, I don't think that there's people lie about a lot of things. It doesn't mean like it depends on what they lie about. And it depends on the pattern. It depends on a lot more than just like, oh, they had an affair. I don't know. I just feel like that stuff is I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And it's weird talking about all of that, with the whole Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni case being mainly what this channel is about now. And how big, like understanding how big the allegations were and how grossed out I was reading, some of Blake's claims. And some of them I was like, this is ridiculous. But some were like, whoa, that's a big allegation. That's a really disgusting allegation. And so like I get that is again, I get that's wrong. I get that they need consequences for that stuff, etc., etc. I just think I don't know. Not having the safety of human beings, like your country and of other countries and world peace, to me that's higher on the list of standards for an elected official for me. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. Still, I don't know. But I will also admit that when I saw this name, I'm like, where is that name from? What type of like ethnicity is he? And then I also saw that I think somewhere he's Muslim, and I was like, huh, this can pose a lot of problems, especially right now. Well, I guess like when wouldn't it so far? Um, and so I went on. Well, I saw this on Instagram, so I went on Instagram and I'm like, who is this guy? So, and then I'm here too on Ground News, and I'll go into the Instagram thing too. And then I was like, yeah, I like this guy. So, but yeah, socialist, democratic socialist, I'm all for that. People can use that. There's another guy on Instagram that said, um, I don't know. I guess like anything that was like bullying that was said in a bullying way to him or as an insult, he always like early on understood like, you're trying to insult me with good things. Like, how dare you love, loving is an insult kind of thing. So that's how I feel about socialism. I don't know. Not socialism, I guess, but like leaning more towards that. Um, I don't know how I feel about like pure socialism. I don't know. Again, I feel like Sweden and those Nordic countries are doing pretty okay, and they're the happiest countries in the world. So I don't know. I think there's something there. But yeah, democratic socialism, I'm all for it, and I'm not. Yeah, that's another strong stance that I'll have unless I don't know. It's gonna take a lot for me to not feel good about that. So, anyways, Mamdani campaigned on promises, including those things. By the end of Tuesday, this happened. Mamdani now leads to become the Democratic nominee, potentially becoming New York's first Muslim mayor and making a significant shift in the city's political landscape. I hope he wins, honestly. And this is, I get this is marketing and all that stuff, but I don't know. This is cool. Oh, this is. Wait. Is this the same one that I. No, I think I saw the other
Our
one.
walk through the entirety of Manhattan.
Yeah, I saw this one.
This evening, New York Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a federal.
I don't know if this is copyrighted or whatever.
New York is the greatest city on the globe.
But what good is that if no one can afford to live here? City Hall is engulfed in corruption.
Unscientific.
New Yorkers are being crushed by rent and childcare. The slowest buses in the nation are robbing us of our time and our sanity.
I will say that I don't think New York's buses are the slowest buses in the nation from personal experience here in Ohio. I'll just say that. But yeah, so anyways, I'm not gonna play it just in case it's all like copyright music, whatever, blah 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 blah. But probably not. It probably doesn't make sense. But I like this just like young hip, what I feel like is normal right now campaign video, and also built on positivity. He's not really trashing people. He's like just, and I'm not saying that he doesn't have those ads too. I don't know. I just started down this rabbit hole. But yeah, a breath of fresh air from like the presidential campaign, which is all like hate and like why you shouldn't vote for this other person. Like, okay, how about you tell us why we should vote for you and tell us the positive stuff and whatever.
Adams rent hikes are killing us.
Life in this city doesn't need to be this hard, but politicians like Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo want it to be this way. They care about their donors. They care about themselves. They don't care about you, the working class who keep this city running.
Oh, he makes good points. It was over here. Where was it? There's like this too, but was it this? I don't know. No, it wasn't. I don't know. He was with he had Bernie on here somewhere. Oh, there we go.
A reason why the billionaire class and their
No, it
super
wasn't this one.
PACs are working
Oh,
overtime.
sorry. It was on Bernie's. I think it was Bernie's. No, it wasn't this one though. Whatever.
The billionaire
Maybe.
class and their super PACs are working overtime to defeat Saran Mamdani for mayor of New York City. And that is that they're scared to death that New York, the largest city in America, might actually have a mayor who stands with working families and is prepared to take on powerful special interests. Look, everybody knows the oligarchs, the establishment, they're extraordinarily powerful. They have unlimited amounts of money. But the one thing they don't have is the people. And that's what we have. But that doesn't work unless people are organized, unless they come out to vote in large numbers. So in the next few days, let's do everything that we can to see that Saran is elected mayor of New York. Thanks very much.
He had Bernie's endorsement. I'm a huge Bernie person. But yeah. So there was another one. Was there another one here? Maybe not. But yeah, he I think in this one, yeah, he added the other
In
ones.
our New York, the power belongs to the people.
No, it was in this one too. Why did I get like different things on my phone? Anyways, so it was one where maybe it was this. No, it wasn't this one.
We have
Sorry. It was right. Did they take it off? What the heck? That's so weird. Maybe I don't know. Who knows where I saw it. But he attended this like Baptist church. It's so weird. So weird. And he was saying that he was born in Uganda. And I see here like I'm guessing that's the Ugandan flag. I don't know. And that's India. And he has been in New York since he was 7. And yeah, 33 Democratic Socialist. I don't live in New York. I wish he was here, but go New York. Yeah, I don't know. I hope he wins. I just feel like we need breath of fresh airs. We need like such a. I think the people that voted for Trump because they wanted change, they wanted not the same stuff over and over again. They wanted something different. I think I stand with them. I just don't think Trump was that person, and they thought Trump was that person just because he presented himself as different. And I think he is different in many ways, in many, many ways. But I don't think not everything different is good different. But I think Zoran is good different. I think Bernie is good different. And there's many, and it's generally young people that are good different, that get it, that have the energy, that have that thing that we lose more and more each year that we're on this planet, which is this drive and belief and I don't know, drive and belief that we can make a difference and that the world can be better and to make the world better. And the more that we live in the world, the more disillusioned we are, the more we give up. Actually, I was reading more of the Awakened Brain book, and it talked about that part too, where you just start being. I need to pull that out because it's actually a great reference, and also just the phrasing. I just don't remember the phrasing, and I think it's like it matters. I didn't yet have this. This is a quote from the book. This is the book. I didn't have yet the science to explain it, but we were beginning to suffer from choices made. Sorry, from choices made through what I would later understand to be our achieving brains, chasing down sensible goals of advancement, protection, that would not fulfill us, that would cultivate stress and fear and disconnection, because outward goals are no substitute for larger meaning and purpose. Bam. To me, that was a mic drop moment in the book. And I think about it in this sense too. You know, I am a product of that. I was actually thinking about, I have my little brother is going off to college soon, and his friends and so forth. And I was thinking how to them, to their families, I might be a cautionary tale of like, if you don't go for, becoming a doctor or whatever. And I would say quite the opposite. I think I'm a cautionary tale if you don't go for the passion, for making the world better, for the things that are the drive, that purpose in you, whatever that is, and wherever, however that's like set to manifest. For me, it was more the creative arts, but it was also psychology, and I regret not finishing that. And for some people, it is accounting. For some people, it is, politics. For some people, it is law or filmmaking or parking lot attendant or whatever. Like, truly, like, there's so many different beautiful options out there. They're beautiful for the person that's meant to embody those, that has that calling for that. And it's not this like whole thing of like achievement of, like, if you have certain jobs, if you have certain titles, if you choose a certain party to vote for, if you have certain political beliefs, if you have, certain income or whatever, then you're safe or safer and more valuable and so forth. Like, that's such like made up, human made up BS. And it does create this like inner suffering that then medical companies, not necessarily doing it maliciously. It's not, I think, a whole big, unified effort. But they see an opportunity to create antidepressants and other things because you're suffering, because you don't know why you're suffering. You're just suffering, and you need to show up to work to make money, to stay alive, to keep food on the table, to keep the house that your family's in, your children are in, or even if you're by yourself, your pets. I have parakeets, and I know that sounds maybe crazy to some people, but I worry a lot about their living environment. Like, I don't want them to pass away or to suffer because of living conditions, or because of food, or because I don't have money to like buy them like toys, which for them is really important because they're not really toys. They're just like, they're like rodents with wings, and so like they need to chew on things. Like, their beaks like keep growing, so they need to chew on things, and if they don't have something to chew on, it can be a problem, both like health wise and for themselves. But anyways, but yeah, so um it just becomes like you're living for that stress, you're living to put out those fires. And that's why I feel like we need people like this guy, and anyone who's not about the fires, who's young enough to not see the world that way, but see the world as it's innately good. We just have to bring up and put fertilizer into the good, not the bad, and not to be stuck in like whacking all the moles, all the bombings, and all the stuff. No, just like bring up the good. And that will like balance things out. But anyways, so yeah, so that's kind of like today. Yeah, it was like a mixed bag of stuff. um I don't know. I don't know. I do like in theory, I feel like yeah, doing, during the day type of lives and everything, and people do it, but that's also why I went late night, except Lauren and Omar are late nighters. And I try not to go when they go. But yeah, it sometimes like overlaps. But it is much quieter at night. So that's why I was like, I don't want to be in anyone else's business for, me to have an audience because I don't even have one, but also to not take away the audience from other people. That's why I just kind of just defaulted to at night. I could also do in the morning because that's like Dave's kind of thing. So, you know, there's not much competition there either, and you have his but not really like a stream early in the morning that I know of. I don't know, but I also don't wake up that early. I'm trying. um and yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I'm actually starting to get a lot more into like this stuff than the Blake Lively thing, just because it's so confusing right now, and we're waiting on things that I feel like I think it's coming. I think there's like a volcano that's brewing. It's just like waiting for it. So I don't know. Well, I mean, one way or another, it has to be, right? So yeah. All right. Well, have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday at work or wherever you are. I went to see Materialist. I'll talk about that on Friday. I love that movie. I might actually go see it again. But no, because I don't have money. But I cannot wait for it to be on some streaming service or something. I don't know. I want to see it again somehow. It was such a beautiful movie. I don't know. I don't know. Both like technically, like filmmaking wise and story wise, I don't know. It's just so beautiful. Um, why did I even bring that up? I don't even remember why I brought that up. Anyways, I will talk to you later, I guess. Yeah, cool. Anyways, bye. Peace, love, and compassion, and empathy. Yep, cool. Bye.